Welcome to Dakota Preparedness. Today I'd like to cover some knowledge that is crucial for everyone on the planet to understand. The material outlines where we currently are and potentially what the world will look like in the next 15, 20, 25, 40 years. It's very important if you want to understand where things are going in the world and the world that you will live in, the world that your children and your grandchildren and their children will live in. And this material is well documented in a book called The End of the World is Just the Beginning, Mapping the Collapse of Globalization by Peter Zeihan. Now, I first became aware of Peter Zeihan on YouTube, and I was fascinated with the material that he generously presented through YouTube on video that he had done himself, where he had been interviewed, and where presentations of an hour and a half of his public presentations were presented on YouTube. I was fascinated by him. He's a very intelligent man. He studied geopolitics and a number of other subjects for decades, and it shows it. He is a grandmaster. And in his book, he covers a number of major subjects: transportation, finance, energy, industrial materials, manufacturing, and agriculture. And indeed, he is a grandmaster of all of those subjects. He presents in this material that after 1945, after the end of World War II, that in effect that the United States made a deal with their allies, that the United States Navy, which was without question dominated all the oceans of the world at that time, that they would protect commercial shipping. And in return, you needed to be an ally of the United States. Now, one of the reasons why this is so important that he points out in his book is it costs 12 times more energy to transport something over land than over the ocean or over water. He also has many insights. One of them was industrialization generated light, and light generated time. This in itself revolutionized the world that we lived in. We had time to study. We had time to read at night. We had the ability to do more work and more enjoyable activities. Another item that he has an insight that he shares with us is that specialization and the advancement in technology made completely irrelevant many subjects that were at one time considered essential to know. We had forgotten what our fathers and our grandfathers knew and considered essential to live. And these may become very important with the world that is outlined for the coming future. Now, I'm not going to have a spoiler alert and tell you the ending of his book, but I will leave that to you to study Peter Zeihan's video, and I would highly recommend obtaining this book, and he has several others, but I would definitely recommend reading this book. It gives you a glimpse of what the future will hold. Now, the future, it's always a little bit fuzzy and rarely comes about exactly how people think it will be, but I am believe that Peter Zeihan's book is one of the most crucial books that is in existence today and will be looked back at in 15, 25, 40 years as very insightful. So, be prepared.